They say that if you want to succeed in business, you have to focus on something that you love. And that's exactly what our next guest did. And now her products are lighting up the Suncoast. Bia Antunes has always loved candles. But when she moved from Sarasota to Brazil, she found candles there were not quite up to snuff. So she launched her own candle company and a whole new career. We are excited to welcome Bia. Great to see you.
Thank you.
So, all right, tell us the story. How did you become a professional candle maker? How did it begin?
Well, I started making candles when I was living in Brazil, and I couldn't find quality scented candles. So I started experimenting, and after a lot of trial and error, I was able to come up with a really nice formulation.
See, that's interesting because I would think that most candles, wherever you go, you can find a candle of your liking. What was it about the candles in Brazil that weren't what you were looking for?
Well, in the U.S., we have a big culture of candle burning and candle making. So we have a candle in every room. And Brazil doesn't have that culture really. They have more decorative candles, so not really scented candles, quality scented candles.
So when you left Brazil and came back to Sarasota, you decided to start your own candle making business. So how did you begin?
Well, I was daunted at first because the U.S. is such a saturated market. There's so much product out here, quality product, decorative candles. But I realized that my product was just as good, if not better, than a lot of candles I come across in the U.S. So I went through with it.
And you do all of it. It's all hand done. You pour your own. What is the process like to hand pour and start your own candles?
Well, the hand pouring, yes, I do it all here in Sarasota, basically down the street from the studio. But it's a whole creative process. It starts with choosing your fragrance, burning it, testing it to see if the formulation works correctly, if it burns slowly, if it burns clean, and most importantly, if it really scents. You want a candle that you burn and you start sensing it in the air soon after it's lit.
And when you say burn clean, what does that mean?
It means no smoke, no soot. Yeah.
So we want to fill our room with the scent, but we
Yes.
don't want to necessarily fill it with smoke and ash or
Exactly.
all those other things.
Exactly.
How do you pick the fragrances? What's the process like for you?
Well, it comes with an idea. So my new launch is a fruity, fresh, very sexy scent that's called Honey Do Me. And I had the idea of having a fruity scent. And so I get in touch with the fragrance houses and they send me several samples. And then I choose what I like and then I start testing it in my wax. And then there's the creative process of developing a name for it and a label.
And these are so new that you haven't even put the labels
those
on
are hot
yet.
off the
I want to
presses.
pass them because first of all, I love the names. I think the names are
Yes.
so fun. But the candles certainly deliver. I want you to be able to smell the Honey Do Me.
And the
Oh,
scent
is
is
it
so
honey?
amazing in these candles that you can smell them without having to shove your nose in
I
them, which I
can
love.
smell that really easily, and it hasn't even been lit.
And it's clean. It's like a crisp honey
Yeah, it's
smell.
fresh.
No, it really is.
So
Melody.
when it comes to adding the scents, how does that begin? What types of additives do you put in to make it clean?
I don't put any additives in my candles. I think the less is better, less is better, and it's cleaner. So I don't put additives, I don't put color. I try to keep it as clean as possible. So my wax is very high quality, it's high quality soy, it's very clean. And then my fragrances are made with essential oils. And I buy my ingredients from the best manufacturers that there are in the market. I figured, if you have really high quality ingredients, you're gonna have a high quality product. So that's what I aim for.
Does the fragrance come in like perfume, and you pour the perfume into the wax?
Yes, it comes into big drums, usually 25 to 50-pound drums of fragrance. And I have to measure it in. The measurements have to be very precise. And also the temperature that you mix into the wax, because it is a chemical formulation.
Mhm.
So, and then you have to also find the exact right wick to make it burn correctly. So all of these candles here use different wicks because the fragrances are different chemical formulations.
So much more goes into
I know.
candle making than one would expect. I love the names. Wash Away My Sins is another one. Tell us where you come up with the idea for the name.
Well, the Wash Away My Sins was basically where that fragrance transported me. So fragrance, it transports you into memory. A lot of times you smell something, it reminds you of your past. And that's because fragrance and memory are basically in the same part of your brain. So that fragrance transported me to a place I've been in Europe where it's a high cliff and it's the ocean and there's woods behind you, and it's a place that you feel like you're one with God. So that's why I named it Wash Away My Sin.
I love it, and I love all of the work and the heart that goes into each candle. And I know you're launching some new ones for Valentine's Day. And thank you for the preview of Honey Do Me. So much fun and great, great candles. You can find Bia's candles online and in numerous shops around the Suncoast. For more information and to find out about the new launch of some new fragrances, you can check her out online at biacandleco.com. Coming up next, we are so excited for the big Bradenton River Regatta this week. We're going to highlight some of the big events coming up. Stay